everyone, it's Libby from maighstirtarot. I'd like to acknowledge the Worimi First Nations people. It's WORIMI, and welcome to you, your guides, my guides, and the universal energies. Okay, entertainment only. What do I want to have a look at? I think first today I'm going to have a look at, because nobody else seems to be talking about this, the potential government shutdown in about just over 4 weeks. So in the US, Congress, I mean, where else? Where else does this sort of thing happen? Nowhere, basically, but in the US. Congress is returned 2 days ago, I believe, and absolutely, yes, the fighter jet flyovers were absolutely deliberate, and the timing was very strange in that how do I put this? The arrival of the Polish president, I think, was late. So therefore, I'm just going to put it, I believe the arrival of the Polish president was timed to, now the Polish president, you got to remember, is supported by the Orange Twerp and is in opposition pretty much to the actual prime minister in Poland, who does the day-to-day running of business. So the Polish president, he was late, I believe, arriving, and I'm just going to put it out there, I think the timing was such, he was late in arriving to coincide with the abuse survivors on the top step. Now, also what's come out is that I posted it on my post section, so if you go to maighstirtarot under any video, it'll take you to the main page and you'll be able to find the post section. Massey has come out and reported that one of the top multi-billionaire donors for the Orange Twerp is very front and centre in the Epstein documents as well. So there's a lot going on there, but don't lose sight of the fact that in just over 3 weeks, we might be looking at a US government federal shutdown as well. Okay, I'm using the Golden Universal Tarot, and I want to have a look to see how that's going to go. And as I split the deck to shuffle, I've got these 2 cards. Overwhelming cleansing could be a peace offering, could be a new partnerships, but we've got an ending here as well. Now, what I'm really getting, and I don't know how you guys are going, thank goodness it's Friday and I got the next 2 days off, but I don't know how you guys are going, but I am really struggling to believe what my eyes are actually seeing. I also posted a link to iHip YouTube, where they were talking about allegedly the Orange Twerp ringing into Fox yesterday. Aside from the fact it didn't sound anything like him, the figure was also waffling on about how wind turbines destroy planes, and then he goes on to waffle on about how he's talking about horse riding planes not in the air. It was just, but it didn't even sound like him, because normally the Orange Twerp, I can deal with nails down a chalkboard, doesn't worry me at all. A shovel on cement doesn't worry me at all, but his voice sends chills right down my back. Didn't at all. So yeah, I'm really struggling, and also deja vu like you wouldn't believe. So I'm really struggling with believing what my eyes are seeing and what my ears are hearing, as into, is it real or not? Now, with this government shutdown, so what's happening is that Congress are going to try and push through, I believe, the second half of their bastard budget bill to try and avoid a government shutdown. My feels is, I don't feel that the Orange Twerp is dead, but my feels is that they are trying to keep him alive until the second bill goes through. Entertainment only, alive and functional, in whatever form that takes. Body doubles, himself actually pumped up to the gills, AI, whatever form it takes, they're trying to keep him going, is my feels, until the September bill. Whether they make it that far or not is another matter. But I want to have a look at the bill itself. Apparently there have been 14 government shutdowns since 1981. Again, don't understand it from a different country's point of view, but it's the way it is. The longest shutdown was 34 days, so just over a month. Oh, gee, I wonder who was president that time around back in 2018, just before the pandemic struck. Okay, let's have a look. So the GOP, they have the numbers in the House, but apparently to get bills passed in the Senate, they need 60%, and they don't have 60%. It would require, I believe, about 8 Democrats Democrats to cross the floor. Now, the last time they had this needed to get kicked down the road, because they haven't had a resolution yet, they've basically just kicked it down the road again, was in March. Schumer got absolute flogging for allowing this to pass the Senate. I gather the debt for the US is 37.25 trillion and still rising, regardless of tariffs, not tariffs. Speaking of tariffs, not tariffs, came out today that the Orange Twerp has signed an executive order in regards, it's on the White House website, executive order in regards to the trade agreement with Japan. Now, I'm pretty sure that you can't order Japan into a trade agreement via executive order. It just, basically say Japan will do this and they will do that, and we'll do whatever we feel like in response. We're still going to put tariffs on you. Oh my goodness. Oh, okay. So let's have a look. Will the government, I'm going to ask, will it actually shut down end of September? Oh, okay. No, let me keep shuffling. Will the end of September deadline, oh gosh, we've got some money cards popping out here. Will the government shut down? I think they're going to kick the can down the road even further with that Six of Swords. Oh boy, there's sort of no resolution. Okay, let's have a look. With the end of September deadline, with the government shutdown, bill to pass deadline, will the government shut down because of this September the 30th deadline? I don't think it'll shut down on that day, but will it shut down with this September 30th deadline? Come on down, let's have a look. Sorry about my big long waffle. And obviously important things are happening such as changing the name of the Department of Defence to the Department of War. Okay, who be chained to this devil? The devil is demanding his due. He's demanding payment. Will the government shut down due to this end of September deadline? Expect some very prominent reminders of who owes who, what, where and when, because at the moment there are certain individuals who are thoroughly chained to this toxic devil energy, very possibly have their names in some certain files that they're trying to protect. Let's see where they go. And it's a nightmare situation. For those that tied themselves to this, whatever it was in the past, it's absolutely a nightmare situation for them. Okay, but my question is will it shut down? Okay, the energy they're stewing in is the government itself, Congress itself. May even be, it's not the emperor, but you've got the figure up here sitting on the throne throwing out his orders. There might be an executive order. I did say that if he ever got in, it would be governance by decree. And that's pretty much what we're seeing. So the Hierophant in the past, the living the life of luxury, but it can also just be, I think what's happened is that, will there be a shutdown? The money was there in the past, but it's now been trapped, is what I'm getting out of that. So the money was there, but it's been trapped, basically to pay for billionaire tax breaks. Oh, and yeah, Zuckerberg was sitting at a White House dinner earlier today, right next to the orange twerp. I don't think it was Melania on the other side. There was something not quite right about the face. But yeah, oh goodness me. Right, crowning the reading is end of a cycle for the happy families. It's my voter card, but being a 10, it can mean a culmination, but I just think really the show is over here, is the feeling I'm getting. Being a 10, it's the end of the cycle. The show is over. Let me just put it that way. And Tower moment, implosion. I don't think they're going to pass a bill. I don't think after the backlash in March that the Senate is going to pass a bill. We have this absolute blowing the top off here. Let's keep going. Another 10 of swords externally. Again, another ending. Internally, trying to do bipartisan deals across the aisle, but I don't think that's going to work. Let's see where it goes. This is the only money card in the past. This is interesting. Hopes and fears is the 7 of Cups, the delusion, the wool over the eyes, the smoke and mirrors, the poor choices. That's the hopes and fears. And I think what's happening is the fog is lifting. Look at these cards. Okay, the outcome. No, I don't think they're going to pass anything. The inability to harvest the money, things being brought to an end, and then a walking away. The only 2 money cards out of all these cards. I don't think they're going to, and I wouldn't be surprised if Congress just came to an end and left. I won't say left for a holiday or anything, but we've got the Ace of Wands, the big stick, a new plan, but they can't, another 10, the 10 of Wands, an inability to bring it together in a uniformed manner to get it across the line. Ooh, boy. Okay. Just seeing what was on the bottom. You've got the 6 of Cups, the gift from the past. You've got Russia. You've got the Page of Pentacles looking at the options, but it's going to be stopped. And then you've got the out in the cold with the 5 of Pentacles. No, I don't think they're going to be able to pass a budget. So I do think be prepared for a government shutdown, because I don't think the Senate especially are going to let this through. Might even be the House as well to force things to a head. Okay, let's have a look. I don't think they're going to. I'm actually getting that it's, yeah, we'll put it through if you release the entire 330,000 Epstein files. That's not pages, that's files themselves, something along those lines. It's almost like, yeah, we'll let it through if you do this. Oh, we couldn't possibly do that. So tough Beckies, it's not going through. It is going to be the people on the street that feel it. So forewarned is forearmed. Just make sure that you are prepared for it to happen. Oh boy. I'm just going to have a quick look at this trade agreement. I don't even want to read any more on that because I just don't see it happening. Now, I was thinking about the trade agreement with Japan, and I've got the 8 of Swords. Feeling like No, this isn't Japan. This is an attempt to legally bind Japan, this executive order. But I don't think it's going to work. It's just sheer lunacy with the moon card there. Sheer lunacy, and then you've got the high priestess. Hidden agendas that are being brought to the fore by the decrepit Orange King, and Japan walking away. I don't think it's going to hold because well, you kind of need two signatories on a deal. Okay, I'll put back randomly. Right. Apparently, there's word that has come out from the regime. Yeah, treason, betrayal. Yeah, an announcement that is pretty much treasonous betrayal. So I gather there was a meeting of NATO leaders in Paris yesterday. Lo and behold, who was there? Witkoff, or should I say Dickoff, on behalf of the Orange Twerp. Terrible diplomat, terrible negotiator, mafia, allegedly, property developer from the New York days back in the day. And the Polish president was obviously not there. The Polish prime minister was probably there, or someone of his cabinet. But what's happened, there was an announcement today, really strange, because the Polish president, who the Orange Twerp supports, only been elected in last month. He is a far-right nationalist. I suppose you could call him bordering on neo-Nazi, allegedly entertainment only. And Poland borders Russia. Now, an announcement out today was that from the regime is that the US is looking to cut security funding for countries that border Russia. I haven't looked into this, but talk about treasonous. Again, flying under the radar. Let's have a look at that. Oh, yeah. Truth coming out about this abuse of power, betrayal, deceit, sabotage. Deliberate sabotage can be self-sabotage, and you've got the figures walking away there. Oh, justice. And if I keep going, you've got a whistleblower coming forward about the money drying up. And if I flip it over, I've got the Ace of Pentacles as well. Something big about this. I've written US to cut SEC funding for countries bordering Rus. You know, my shorthand. So I think this is for some reason, and there's Russia, and there's my manipulation card. I have often said, and I will still say it, that the Orange Twerp will do something to side with Russia in this conflict, because they have them by the short and curlies. Absolutely. Especially with the Epstein stuff that's coming out, because they've got it. Like I spoke yesterday about the folder, the Compromat folder. They have everything. Video footage, audio, photographs, you name it. He was given copies of some stills from a video, I suspect, when he was in Saudi Arabia a couple of months back, when, you know, everyone around him was laughing and he was looking mortified. So let's have a look. The US to cut security funding for countries bordering Russia. What do we need to know about this? Right, some sort of unbalanced partnership and agreement going here. You've got this figure looking with his barren tree, looking very abashed. So I'm just going to say, I felt yesterday that, well, first of all, yesterday, I'll just pop those down for a second. Yesterday, when I was watching the Polish president and the Orange Twerp, really felt that the figure that apparently I don't think it was at the beginning. I don't quite know how they staged it because I haven't looked in it too much, but apparently Penguin 6 was walking past when the Polish president arrived and wasn't greeted by the orange twerp according to Penguin 6. He was greeted by a woman. So I can't place exactly when the photos, etc., were done out the front with the supposed greeting. This is why I'm saying I'm really struggling. And yes, my eyes have flared up because I am really struggling with what to believe with my eyes, my lying eyes, because what we are seeing is not what is true. Now, I really felt that that figure out the front, videoed from a distance, photographed from behind, was a double. I haven't felt a double before for the orange twerp prior to the weekend. But yeah, I really felt that that was a double. The one in the Oval Office, I think, might have been him pumped up on yippee beans, but that was only at the most half an hour, which is probably as long as he can actually stay vertical. Allegedly entertainment only. But let's have a look. The US to cut security funding for countries bordering Russia. Now, I think there was something here that was shared with the Polish president, and this is why the announcement came out today, remembering that Poland is a country that borders Russia. I don't think this Polish president is working on behalf of the Polish people. Let me just put it out there. Just like the orange twerp isn't working for the people of the United States, just like Nigel Farage doesn't give a flying F about the people of the United Kingdom, just like Marine Le Pen is absolutely not working for the people of France. It's just that same energy. Awful, awful people. And Putin's not working for the people of Russia, or I don't think Putin's still alive. I haven't picked him up for a long time. I keep seeing him as a decaying corpse in a morgue drawer. And actually, I'll have a look at Kim Jong-un in a separate reading today, because there was some interesting stuff that came out of that. But yeah, this is this unbalanced agreement between the orange twerp as this catowed, whipped dog and those that have the power over him. I think this figure here, even though it was a male, was the Polish president bringing a message from the Kremlin, is what I'm getting from that card. The challenge is karma. Everything is changing. The world order is changing. The world attitude is changing. My guides woke me really early this morning to say that the old ways and the old sayings are no longer relevant. Ergo, build it and they will come. No, it doesn't happen that way anymore. Just ask China, who's been demolishing brand new, never lived in huge apartment blocks and towns, as they are having a reducing population. Even in Australia, there have been corporations that have built housing developments and nobody will buy the houses because nobody wants to live there, because they're out in the middle of nowhere with no facilities, or they are just completely wrong. The build and they will come no longer stands, and the happy wife, happy life no longer stands either. That's been replaced by happy spouse, happy house. Okay, so times are a-changing, and that is the challenge. This could also be the one that was on top is finding themselves on the bottom, and this could be Russia as a world power is really diminished. Ukraine is absolutely flogging the backside off them, with one arm tied behind their back and hopping on one leg. They are absolutely flogging the backside off Russia. So the Kremlin is getting really desperate, and those that support the Kremlin ideals are getting really desperate. They see that they were on the top, they're now on the bottom, and they're trying to rectify it. And that's why I keep saying I think Now, I have to remind myself, I have to remind myself that us light workers have been saying for months that when he is incapacitated, they will do a weekend at Burnings for as long as they can get away with it, because they won't be ready for the handover. And they're not. There's still stuff they want to get through, like this end of September bill to prevent the government shutdown. So just be aware of that. We've been saying it for months, and we have to remind ourselves that we've been saying it for months, because now we're here. We are here at this point. Okay, come on down. I'm not saying that he's passed. He's just, to me, he is very incapacitated. And basically, when they can't get away with a AI pre-recorded whatever, they will pump him full and dump him out. Okay, it is about the funding. It is about cutting the funding. This is a really precarious time. If this funding, security funding, is cut, it potentially leaves these countries open for the Kremlin to open another front. It really does put them on one foot. So this is the energy stewing in at the moment. Insecurity about this funding. Now, this is part of NATO. This isn't about the US going, yeah, I mean, the US has military bases in all these countries. I'm sure it pays a nice fee to have them there. But this is NATO, and remembering that Witkoff was the one that went, terrible negotiator, not somebody who actually had some kahunas. Okay, in the past, feeling isolated, trying to find a path forward, introspection, investigation. So all those things in the past here. So this could be the countries themselves feeling isolated, or just the continual isolation of the United States brought about by this regime, because the rest of the world just doesn't want to deal with them. But it could also be to try and prevent investigations that are happening. Right, crowning this reading, the Fool. Foolishness. This is step off the cliff stuff. Could also be new beginning as the EU steps into its newfound maturity and unity. If you can hear that, I think that's the mowing guy next door. Yeah, so warning. Warning, Will Robinson, before you step off the cliff. Yeah, I think they're going to cut the funding. The immediate future, cast out. The funding's going to get cut. Don't know if this is legal for them to do so, but the warning is here. Okay. Externally, looking at the options and opportunities, financial options and opportunities. I think this is getting into, I was going to say EU territory, but I don't think this is EU. I think this is very much the infighting that's going to ensue out of this. There might be some Republicans that don't approve as well, but this is very much just throwing the EU under the bus. This is my throw under the bus with the announcement card. The outcome, Sword of Truth, is front and centre and cannot be denied, and they're going to have to, the EU is going to have to come up with a new strategy. They may also release some stuff that they had held back releasing, because they're going to be giving no Fs anymore. Okay, let's see where this goes. Right. Working hard to make every dollar count. In the face of this manipulation, but can also be a manifestation of new funding coming forward. I think it's manifesting of new funding coming forward. The EU is going to be okay, despite the best efforts. So here we've got the loss and disappointment. in what was, but they still have. So it is about turning the attention to what they still have and making every dollar stretch further. The gift from the past is no more. So the Six of Cups, the Ten of Pentacles, due to those who had chained themselves to the devil. Now these are the same figures. Due to those who had chained themselves to this devil energy, this is can be divine, this can be the devil, but they are the same figures. The empty seas is the plan, not the empty seas themselves, but just nothing. Nothing. Announcement from the White House. Yeah, I just don't see it. I really do think the US is just simply going to cut the funding and hang them out to dry. Now, I'm going to, in that case, really feels, I keep saying each month, culmination, and it's just it's getting more and more. And I kept saying it's going to get worse. And even though I say it, even though my spirit guides tell me it, oh boy. Okay, so this is going to be disastrous, not for the EU. I think it's going to be disastrous for the US. But let's have a look. The Polish president, is he behind this? Tell me, was the Polish president in any way behind this decision, this announcement? Interesting choice of words that the Orange Twerp wants to change the Department of Defense, which is about defending the United States, to the Department of War, which is about warmongering, which is going externally. Let's have a look. Was the Polish president Karol, was he anyway behind this decision? Okay, just going to pause you for 2 seconds. Sorry about that. Husband arriving unexpectedly home. When do I get my new office? And there's Spotty Dog looking up the hallway there. So quickly, is the Polish president anyway behind this announcement? Okay, the Queen of Pentacles, looking at the money, looking at the opportunity internally. He might have gotten paid for this, allegedly, entertainment only. Let's see where it goes. Okay, Queen of Pentacles, King of Pentacles, and we all know who the corroding orange King of Money is. So the challenge is, or the secondary, I think they came to some sort of financial agreement here. In the past, we've got the King of Swords. Now, the swords can be about the bringing forth the truth, about legal action, but it can also be taking action on a strategy. Swords can be about strategy. Okay, in the past, I suspect this had been discussed prior. This is about making the plans on the world stage in the past, crowning this reading to walk away from the EU. Immediate future, however, we've got the Ten of Wands. Trying to pull it all together to get it to go forward. Externally, I think the money's going to come from elsewhere. So what they're trying to do is they're trying to, okay, what I'm getting is just so chaos, because the Ten of Wands, this is not an orderly bunch of wands here. It's about causing chaos as this figure is trying to make it to this castle in the distance. Externally, we've got this money coming in internally, or this offer of money coming in. And this is about internally secrets being revealed. I think he got paid. Again, the offer of money, internally, secrets, hopes and fears. Yes, some sort of agreement was made. he's going to find himself on the back foot because something's going to expose him for his mercenary actions in regards to this, and that he was tied to this devil. There's going to be some sort of inflammatory news come out that will come in perhaps from another country in the world. Oh boy, oh boy, oh boy. Yeah, okay. I think it's going to come out. I think it's going to come out that this deal was done, and the timing. I mean, if it walks like a duck, talks like a duck, smells like a duck, it's pretty much a duck. Okay, so I'm going to leave it there. Love to you all. Take care. Deep breath. Enjoy your weekend. Catch you shortly.